Hey guys, and welcome back to the Two Players Podcast. This is episode 6. We have a lot to talk about, not in terms of news, but in other stuff, such as the Walking Dead season finale, and along with the newly released Ratchet Clank game that we are very, very excited about. So, let's get into the news first. So, God of War 4, there are conceptual art and rumor details about this new God of War game.
That's pretty exciting. I would have liked it if they not use Kratos again, because I think
it's rumored to be like a Kratos-like character.
Oh.
Yeah, like the guy, he pretty much looks like Kratos but with a beard. I don't know.
I think maybe if they make it more different, because I feel like they very exhausted Kratos, and it would be nice to expand the universe.
Like more than 5 games on Kratos, I think. God of War 1, 2, 3, and then the PSP titles.
Yeah.
So 5, and then
right?
Yeah, I forget what that one's called. Ascension.
Yeah.
Okay, so literally 6 titles on this guy. So if they do God of War 4 on Kratos, I wouldn't mind as long as they do something different. Like if they do I don't know, because now he has a beard and spoilers for anyone who hasn't played God of War 3, he died. So. Not exactly sure exactly how they're gonna put Kratos in, but it may be I don't know, something else, like a deceased, like the next Kratos or something like that. I don't know.
I just hope it's different enough. I mean, it's been a while though. When was God of War 3? When did that came out? 2000 something.
That came out a while ago. Let's see. God of War 3. God of War 3 came out on 2010. That's 6 years ago.
Yeah, okay. So
and then Ascension came out in 2013, so that's 3 years ago.
All right, so maybe it's time for another God of War game. So
yeah, I guess we could see Kratos back in, but if it isn't, it's pretty much, I mean, this is all rumors right now, so nothing's confirmed, and he does look like Kratos, just with a beard, so we'll just have to see what they want to announce and show us, officially, but I don't know. It's just rumors, not much to really talk about, but just speculate for 5-10 minutes.
Yeah.
There is a update on the Last of Us and Uncharted movies, and I actually am excited for this because, video game movies, we'll probably see exactly how good Ratchet Clank is. I think it'll be great, to be honest, because of the way that the series already is. It already has enough humor, it has enough charm, it has a good story, I would say, and it also just has likable characters, so translating that into a film probably won't be that hard.
Yeah, and I saw more clips of it, and it does look very promising, the Ratchet Clank movie. It's just everything about it just seems very charming, and they're not straying too far from the source material either.
Which is very good.
Yeah, because, that would be bad.
And the update on the Uncharted movie from this IGN article, I took out that Naughty Dog has been somewhat involved with the development process, and Sony currently has it slated for June 2017. And the Last of Us movie hasn't been worked on in over a year and a half. Oh. So either they're putting the Last of Us movie on hold or they're scrapping it. If they scrap it, I wouldn't mind, because it's really, really early within the process of making this movie.
True, but I would like to see a Last of Us movie because I still have not, played it, even though I really should. But
I think playing The Last of Us, just seeing the emotional attachment you have with Ellie and Joel, and then seeing it on the big screen in a movie theater, I wonder exactly how they would do that. They'll probably figure out some way, but hopefully the Uncharted movie, it's probably gonna be just an action movie.
Yeah, it should be easy to make an Uncharted movie because it's mostly just Indiana Jones. Yeah.
So I don't know. I'm just excited for Uncharted 4 and to see what they do with the Last of Us franchise later down the road. So I don't know. It's still a lot unknown about these two films, but the fact that they haven't worked on the Last of Us movie in a year and a half, it's a bit worrying for it, I would say.
Yeah.
Going into superhero Marvel news, basically, because we're both Marvel fanboys, right?
Yeah.
Pretty much. I mean, I like DC, Batman, Superman, they're alright, but, Marvel, I feel like Marvel has characters that I could, relate more to, I would say.
I think I just like the heroes more in Marvel I don't know.
Yeah,
Like,
and then like the villains in DC are just great.
yeah, the only like good villain that I've seen right now in Marvel is Loki, and that's about it. At least in terms of the movies, he was the only one that's like wasn't generic.
Yeah, I guess so. Um, so we have some early reactions to the screening of Captain America: Civil War. People have seen it already, and it has been getting a lot of great praise, and that just gets me even more excited for the movie.
Yeah, it makes me have hope because Avengers 2 wasn't the best thing ever. Even though this is more of a Captain America movie, I just feel like it's gonna be a better Avengers.
This movie is being worked on by the same people that did Winter Soldier, which was great. Yeah. Winter Soldier was definitely arguably the best Marvel movie next to like Avengers at the time. So, I mean, Age of Ultron was okay. It definitely didn't surpass the first one, but it was still like a good movie. It wasn't bad by any means, I would say.
Yeah, it wasn't bad, but it was just like it wasn't as good as Avengers 1.
And, Civil War, it's 2.5 hours long, and, they pretty much, all of the critics right now are pretty much saying that this is a great movie, you should see it, it's freaking awesome, and I just can't wait for that, May 7th, I believe? Or May 6th?
6th, yeah.
May 6th, May 7th date to come around, and then just go to the movie theaters, watch it, and then just have a fun time, because, just seeing I think someone said that this is pretty much like Avengers 2.5.
Yeah.
And that, I mean, I can't really say much about it, but from what I've seen, like, I think Jeremy John said that, or someone else, one of the movie reviewers I watched, said that this is still about Captain America and Bucky. Despite having, Ant-Man, Black Panther, all of these other Marvel characters in there, it's still about Captain America.
And that's good. So, I like Captain America.
Yeah. I wasn't exactly a huge person on Captain America, but, the movies obviously just, like, made it a lot easier to get into the character. So,
yeah, that's one thing I like about the Marvel Cinematic Universe. They make a lot of these, like, heroes no one cares about into people everyone cares about. Like,
like Guardians of the Galaxy.
Yeah, and Guardians of the Galaxy.
So, that Doctor Strange trailer, going on to other Marvel stuff, did you actually see it?
I actually didn't see it, but I saw it.
I know nothing on Doctor Strange, but I think it'll be a good movie. Just from what people have saying and just like my personal impressions, like I think it'll just be a good movie. Like Marvel at this point, like they'll just make great superhero movies.
Yeah,
and, like nothing's really
as
going
long as
to stop
it doesn't get too like tiring. Then
yeah,
I think they're fresh enough.
As long as they get the right people, the right team, they'll be able to make great movies.
Yeah.
Marvel has officially announced the Spider-Man solo film and its title, Spider-Man Homecoming. And
I mean, the name is stupid, but
I think it's a fine title. I don't know. There's nothing really wrong with it, I would say.
So all right, so this is what, like the third Spider-Man movie in less than a
like
decade?
the new third Spider-Man like series, I guess.
Yeah,
because we had the original Tobey Maguire, and then we have Andrew Garfield.
Yeah,
I thought he was good. I thought he was not as good as Tobey, because I think the directors and all of the other different things. It's not just between the actors; it's between like everything else.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So I feel like Andrew could have been a good Spider-Man, but they kind of cut him short because Sony realized that they weren't doing that great with the series, because they pretty much pulled a Batman vs Superman and kind of just tried to set up as much as possible, but in reality you shouldn't do that with the film.
You can't just put everything into one movie and expect it to work. The reason why the Marvel Cinematic Universe works is because
they take their time. They take their time to flesh out the story.
Yeah.
Like they didn't just go from Iron Man, Captain America into the Avengers. They did Iron Man, Iron Man 2, Thor, Captain America, and the Incredible Hulk, and then Avengers.
Yeah.
And that took several years, and then when it finally hit the big screen, it all paid off in the end. So, and, the only thing I could really hope from this Marvel Spider-Man film is that it's good. And I think it will be, because a lot of people have been saying that Tom Holland has been probably the best Spider-Man yet.
Yeah, that's pretty good, because I think, like, Tobey Maguire was good, but I feel like he
Yeah, but
wasn't.
like he was a bit old.
Yeah, and I feel like yeah, and I feel like there could be a better Spider-Man. We just haven't seen it yet. Like,
And I think that this is our guy.
yeah,
You know, he's young right now, so he could pretty much, be the Spider-Man that we need him to be at the moment. And um supposedly I think some people want Dr. Octopus to be like the villain in this movie or something like that. I'm not exactly sure exactly if there is a homecoming storyline within the Spider-Man universe, but if there is and they decide to go and do it with this film, that would be great. But I think it's just like their own little title thing. That's
Yeah.
just what I think. But, the movie will hit in theaters July 7th, 2017. It's a year from now and then some months. So I can't wait, honestly, because
I just hope it's good.
I'm pretty sure when we go see Civil War, we're just going to be like, Spider-Man was great because, I'm a Spider-Man fanboy, obviously, because Spider-Man was literally the first superhero I was ever introduced to. And, him going through all of these like different iterations was, I was still on like, it's still pretty good, guys side, trying to like fanboy it a little, but obviously the Amazing Spider-Man 1 was good, and then Amazing Spider-Man 2 is
Yeah,
it was just all over the place.
yeah. I mean, I would consider myself a Spider-Man fanboy because I was young when I saw Spider-Man 3, but I thought it was like the best thing ever. But now that's
Yeah, we're young, we don't know much.
But now
There's just
I
pretty
saw it-
things on the screen.
I saw it again, and I'm like, this is a mess. Like, this is like awful.
I mean, emo Peter was great, right?
That made me cringe even when I was young. So I don't even know.
I remember seeing that part in the theaters, and then I just looked towards my dad, and he was just knocked out,
I know.
just like sleeping.
It
And I
was-
was like, I don't blame him.
Yeah, it was shitty. It was not okay.
Yeah, but hopefully Tom Holland can deliver on his solo film, and yeah. The Deadpool 2 has been confirmed, and also I actually didn't put it in this Google Doc, but I think the director for Deadpool 2 is open to a Spider-Man Deadpool crossover.
Oh, what the hell?
Yeah, so I mean, like, first off, our initial thoughts on Deadpool was great. The movie was awesome. It did pretty much almost everything you could want within a Deadpool movie, right?
Yeah, I loved it. It was so good. And the good part about Deadpool 2 is they don't have to establish his character or anything.
Yeah,
so
they don't have to do the thing that they did in the movie and like try to explain his backstory and everything. They could literally just go into it and be like, yeah, this is Deadpool and he's gonna do some stuff on screen.
The origin stuff in Deadpool 1 was probably the weakest part of the movie. So with Deadpool 2, they could just go full on craziness and it's gonna be great.
Yeah. There is no release date for the movie yet, but I would assume it'll be like probably 2018,
Yeah,
maybe 2019 latest.
they're gonna have a lot bigger budget now. So
Yeah, because it's probably I think it was the highest grossing R-rated movie
yeah,
for a while or something like that.
probably because people
So-
took their kids by accident. But
Or because it's Deadpool
Yeah,
and
Deadpool.
people love Deadpool.
Deadpool was like, I still can't believe that he didn't have a movie till now. So
Yeah, it's kind of crazy, but Deadpool 2 is confirmed, and if they do a Spider-Man crossover, that would be interesting and
That'd be fun.
probably hilarious. Yeah.
yeah.
So, I think that's it for news. I don't think there was anything else really announced over the past 2 weeks, I believe.
Yeah, it's kind of slow. Yeah.
Yeah, sometimes news doesn't flow as frequently as it probably should have, but so now we're going to talk about the games we've been playing recently, and both of us have been playing Ratchet and Clank for the PlayStation 4. So, what are your thoughts on it? Because I'm gonna do a whole review on it probably next week.
I think it's a great like reboot / reimagining of the first game. When I was playing the game, I had a giant smile on my face because a lot of level design on some of the earlier planets were basically the same.
Yeah.
They were different enough that felt like a different game as well. Because I'm like, oh, you're not supposed to get a hydro displacer there. You're supposed to get a trespasser, and I was just like, oh, it made me really, really happy. And the gameplay is basically the same like any other Ratchet and Clank game, but if it's not broken, don't fix it. And that's been the mentality with Ratchet and Clank for a while. And it works, right? People are loving it because it's just a straight up platformer shooter, you don't need anything fancy. And it's like the cards are also really fun because they added a new
Yeah,
collectible.
the trading cards, it pretty much adds more replay value for you to keep going out and trying to get all those cards.
Yeah, and it's like giant fan service because most of the cards are throwbacks to the other
Yeah,
games.
those cards aren't even like they're characters or places that aren't even in the game. So yeah, it's pretty much just like fan service stuff that they decided to put in.
And I love it because you just see other characters from the other games like
and other weapons and stuff like that.
Yeah, it's fantastic. So anything
I
you
mean,
want to say?
Ratchet and Clank for PS4 is probably the best PlayStation 4 game, in my opinion, right now.
It's like
because,
the only PS4 game I played, so yeah, it's the best one I played.
I mean, other PS4 games I played, two of them were remakes, God of War and The Last of Us. Those were great, but those were on the PS3, so I'm not really gonna count those. And the other PS4 game that I played was Infamous Second Son. It was a good Infamous game, but I wouldn't say it was as good as Ratchet and Clank because Ratchet and Clank pretty much nailed everything to a T. It's pretty much a near perfect game, I would say, or even a perfect game. IGN gave it a 9 out of 10, and their negative was it felt lonely at times. Like, what the hell?
And I went to the games subreddit, and most of the reviewers, it was just full on 9s, 10s. The lowest I saw was like an 8. So
yeah, like there's really nothing wrong with this game, to be honest.
And it just hit me with a nostalgia because obviously I played Ratchet and Clank since it was like one of my first 3D platformers. So like just playing this game made me like I just loved it. I just had the biggest smile when I was playing it. I knew what most of the secrets were because most of them were in the same spots, and it was just great game. I love it.
Obviously I didn't play when I was younger, but I did play when I was like middle school, freshman, and it was a great experience. Ratchet and Clank, I've been playing the series like every single new release since A Crack in Time, I believe. Like when I started to get into the series, Crack in Time was going to come out, and A Crack in Time is probably my top 3. Ratchet and Clank is probably like my number 3, and then if I had to think about it, I would say Into the Nexus is my number 1. But back to the new one, the PS4 one. I mean, just looking at the original PS2 game to the newest one, this PS4 game, they've changed so much, and it was all for the better.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they really eliminated the backtracking because in Ratchet and Clank 1...
Yeah, you had to backtrack a lot.
Yeah, backtrack
and that was really annoying.
Yeah, because when you went to Battalia, the war planet, you had to when you got up to the Magnum Boot section, you had to you can't do this yet. You had to wait till like 4 other planets in, and then you could get them. So yeah, that was kind of annoying. So they really streamlined it for the better. They also removed a lot of filler planets that really had no meaning at all. The only thing I miss is that I didn't get my suck cannon, but that's fine.
Oh my god. But yeah, like just looking at the first game on the PS2 to the PS4 game, they added strafing, they added weapons leveling up, which made the game a hell of a lot easier.
And addictive.
They added on top of the RPG elements for the weapons, they added it to Ratchet himself with the health. Mm-hmm. And buying ammo became a lot easier. You just press that one thing on top, boom, all ammo filled up. Like before it was like you had to like go there and like put how much. Yeah, it was so annoying. They also added the upgrading thing for like your weapons with the Veritanium, yeah. And the hoverboard sections, like every single part of this game is like pretty good. Like the Clank levels were really, really awesome. Like there were the later ones when you were on that ship when it was like gonna blow up or whatever. I found that those Clank levels had me really puzzled. Like I was stuck for a while. I was like, what do I do? Yeah. It was really interesting. The Clank levels were definitely really good. The hoverboard sections were awesome. I love those. There are 2 different like cups, like each one of them had gold, silver, and bronze. I did all of them because they were so much fun. They had a good amount of challenge, but at the same time it was really fun to do. And I think if Insomniac wanted to do like a Mario Kart style hoverboard thing with Ratchet characters, I think it would work, to be honest, because they pretty much have the mechanics for the game now. They just have to go and add more stuff to it. So I wouldn't mind if they decided to go and do something like that. That's probably not on their agenda, but if they did do it, I wouldn't mind. And then what else was really good? The hacking with the
Trespasser
thing. Yeah, the Trespasser was really good. there were also times when I was either puzzled or I got through it really easily. But those times when I was puzzled, I would literally just like turn off all of the lasers so I could just see everything more clearly. And I would spend enough time on those, so then Clank would be like, you could automatically auto hack at this, and I was like, hell no, I'm trying to figure this on my own.
Yeah.
It's pretty much like a great game, I would say.
I think the game had a great variety of different gameplay with Clank and the hoverboards and stuff, and the trespasser puzzles. I just think the game had a bunch of variety, and the actual gameplay when you're just playing as Ratchet is also super fun.
Yeah.
The game goes to be super hard if you put it on hard, surprisingly. Like, I didn't know how hard it would be. You die in like 2 hits, so I'm like, oh, okay. So
yeah, I did normal. I didn't do easy. Easy's too easy.
Yeah, but Ratchet Clank has not been known for its difficulty, so it's nice to get a little bit.
Like adding the different difficulty levels for those veteran players like yourself was definitely a nice touch.
Yeah, but besides that, I think this is a great reboot, and I'll like to see them do the other games and reboot them. They probably won't do the second one.
Yeah, I think they pretty much made this game just because there's a movie. If they do a sequel to the movie, they might do another game, just like within the same like reboot style. But I don't think that they would.
I really want them to though.
I just want them to make new Ratchet and Clank games, if you know what I'm saying.
True, but I think they're like done with the actual, because Into the Nexus or Crank in Time kind of ended things, and then Into the Nexus kind of just like one last thing.
Ended it even further.
Yeah, so I think that's why I think Ratchet Clank needed a reboot, because they already finished all their other crap what they had to do. So I think having a reboot is good. So I don't know. Let's see. The game, Ratchet Clank is like 14 years old at this point. So yeah.
I'm pretty sure the sales for this game is pretty high, because it was close to like top 5 or even better on every single Amazon region.
That's fantastic.
I think it was number 2 for Amazon, but like on top of that was like, I think it was like a PSN card or something like that. So like this game is selling like hotcakes. It's doing well. I think the movie will also do well just because of the game's success. So yeah, I'm definitely excited for the movie and excited for future plans for the Ratchet & Clank franchise.
I mean, yeah, if they keep making Ratchet & Clank games, I'll keep buying them. So
yeah, I mean, like, they don't really do much different, but like it's still like pretty good.
That's what I like about Ratchet & Clank opposed to Jak and Daxter.
Like Jak and Daxter changed too much.
I love too much, and then it just feels like kind of like a mess later. Ratchet & Clank, they just keep adding things to make it easier, more fun, like strafing, leveling up,
and just better
armor. Yeah, they just made the game. They just built on top of it. That's what I always liked about Ratchet & Clank opposed to Jak and Daxter. But that's a whole different story.
Sly Cooper only changed from the first to the second, and then
it just stuck.
It just stuck with that gameplay style.
Yeah,
and I guess with Sly Cooper, it was definitely like a change within the gameplay, because the style of like Crash Bandicoot style games were kind of dying. Like sandbox games were getting a lot bigger,
and it didn't really felt that's like stealthy. The first one, it was more of a platformer.
So it was pretty much you just running around trying to get to the end of the level.
Yeah.
So now we're gonna talk about the Walking Dead finale, and our predictions, I would say, were pretty wrong. Just because of the fact that AMC decided to. Obviously, spoilers if you are new to the show for the Walking Dead thing. So if you don't want to hear that, you could leave right now and do your own thing. But we're gonna talk about this for probably a couple minutes. But the Walking Dead finale, I was so excited for this.
Let's start from the beginning before we.
Okay, so wait, let me just go look up the episode summary. The Walking.
Well, all right. Not really much happened till the end.
Yeah, it pretty much acted like most of the episodes prior to this, And alright, let me go to Wikipedia. Okay. So, The Last Day on Earth. That's the name of the episode. And I think directed by Greg Nicotero, or whatever the heck you pronounce it. I can't but
one of the actors was played by Trevor from GTA.
Yeah. Yeah, he was the one that repeated Rick's line, "Do you want this to be the last day on Earth?"
Yeah.
So, I mean, like, when I saw him, I was like, he looks pretty familiar. Like, I did not know who exactly he was until I went on Twitter.
Yeah.
And I was like, yeah, that is that guy from GTA.
Yeah.
But the way the episode opened up, they need to get Maggie to Hilltop to pretty much get her medical attention because she looked really damn sick.
Yeah.
And what Negan pretty much did was play cat and mouse with these people.
Yeah.
And that's pretty sick.
It was pretty good.
Like, they pretty much blocked every single point of entry into Hilltop.
Yeah, they blocked off every road to get there, and they were just trapping them into a corner until they
were playing the real mind games, like really, really good mind games on them. And you know, when they finally do get caught, I mean, it's so dumb on how they get caught. Like, why do you think it's a good idea when Negan's men are out to get out of your truck and then just try to stroll through?
And it was night.
Yeah, it was night too. And then they get caught, and then shit goes down.
So Negan was fantastic. I think they did a great job
everyone said that Negan was fantastic. And, like, when they pretty much, like, stripped Rick of all of his power, you saw his revolution as a character. Like, you saw, like, in the beginning, you know, he was pretty calm, and then, like, towards the middle he looked a little bit disjointed, and then towards the end he just looked destroyed as a character.
Yeah, he was so powerless, like, he couldn't do anything.
Yeah, and, like, the actor himself, I forget his name, but he did a great job, I would say. Then when they bring out all of the people that got caught talking in the woods again, Glenn, Rick, Michonne, and
Daryl.
I forget. Yeah, Daryl. When they bring them all out, you know, just like seeing them, and then like, oh wait, and Glenn.
Yeah, Glenn too.
Forget Glenn, and you know, just like them doing that, you know, like just building all of this suspense, and then when Negan finally comes out, he didn't look intimidating at first, and then when he just like walks around and starts talking to everyone, you know, you just see exactly how much he's been through and exactly how much knowledge he has of this new world compared to Rick, I would say.
Yeah,
because all right, you go.
It's just like he was just great. He was also really funny too. With just the stuff he was saying, he was like threatening, like really threatening, and he was just showing his power over them because like he had like 100 people surrounding Rick and his group.
Yeah, there was literally no way for Rick and his people to get out, and I just want October to come already.
Yeah,
because like he pretty much shows his bat, which is I forget the name. It's Lucille? Like Lucy. Yeah, Lucille, and pretty much plays eeny meeny miny mo, and then I'm like, all right, who's gonna die? And then it goes into a first person camera, and then it's like you, and he just beats the shit out of that guy, and then it's like, who is it? Because the way that they did it made it so we don't know who it is. And
I didn't like that.
Yeah, no one liked that. Really, no one liked that. And like I watched that, and then like I saw it end, and then I was like, all right, good night. You know, like I had no reaction to that. Like it was hard for me to take it in because like I was expecting something huge, you know, with all this suspense, and you know, just like they should have shown us, at least shown us who died. But
there was so much suspense wasted.
And like on top of that, the actors don't even know who died.
Yeah.
So it's literally a mystery to everyone, and you know, more news keeps coming out on like people who think that they died, and then I think there was one when I was looking up for this summary. I think one of the actors maybe spoiled something, or I don't know, but some people are thinking that it's Glenn, you know, sticking to the comic book material. Some people think it's Daryl because of his like new show on AMC. So some people say it may be Abraham because it took a couple hits to get him down, you know.
Yeah, I heard about it.
I would say it's not any of the girls, I would say, because, you know, I would say that one hit may just like knock him out. You know, like it took a couple hits for the whole screen to just go black and then the episode to end. So
yeah. And it obviously can't be, you know, Carl. Or anything. Yeah,
but I don't know. I think it's Daryl or Abraham, but we'll see. I'm not exactly sure. If it's like who's that one character that's that's there with Maggie and everyone else just because he owes Maggie one. I forget his name.
What was it? It starts with A.
But if it's that guy that died, that's like no AMC. What are you doing?
What's his face? Eugene, because of his character and stuff.
It could also be Eugene
because
he almost died before, but luckily they got him out.
I feel like it has to be a major character.
Yeah, it has to be a major character, or else everyone in October will flip their shit, and then just like AMC is just gonna go, because literally all AMC has is The Walking Dead. That's like literally making them all the money. Because if you go on their YouTube channel, all of the most watched videos are like Walking Dead or Breaking Bad.
Yeah, but they have the spin-off to Breaking Bad, but I think that's
Better Call Saul. It's not as successful because I think it goes on at like 10 o'clock.
Nah.
So, also it shows up on Mondays and not Sundays. So, and it's not Breaking Bad basically. It's for people that really liked Breaking Bad. I still haven't watched it yet because I don't want to watch something on a Monday at 10 p.m.
Yeah, that's like a horrible time slot.
So, also, we skipped the whole thing with Morgan and Carol and like all that shit.
Oh yeah, that stuff. I forgot about that. They actually hinted on a different group of people with the armor on.
They even hinted. They just showed them.
yeah. They just showed them. They're called like the Kingdom, and I think they use like animals and crap. That's why the dude had the horse and stuff.
Yeah. So, I guess Morgan and Carol are going to them right now because Carol got caught and then she got like shot a couple times. She pretty much wants to die at this point.
Yeah.
Like she doesn't want to live at all, and that's sad. And I don't know exactly when or how they're going to show us that what's really wrong with her. I'm not sure if this was in the comics. I'm pretty sure it wasn't.
What, Carol?
No, like the way that Carol is acting right now.
Oh no, she's dead. She died a long time ago. The show made her into this character. She was supposed to die all the way back in like what
season 1 or season 2?
Yeah, like
maybe
with the barn and stuff.
Oh, she was supposed to die there?
Yeah, she was supposed to die a long time ago.
Okay, so they're probably trying to like cut her off, to be honest. Like maybe
I think one of the writers said they really like this character, so I think they're trying to do something too deep with her, and I don't think it's working that well. I don't know. I don't really like what they're doing to her character because they already established her as being like a hardened badass. So I don't know what.
And now she's like she doesn't want to kill anyone, but she'll do it if she has to.
Yeah, I'm not sure what they're doing.
But I don't know. Just like this last episode, like right afterwards, I went to bed and like I didn't even sleep because I just watched the episode and I was like, what are people saying? So I went on Reddit and I went through the threads, and then it's literally just shit hating on AMC and the way that they handled this finale. Like every single one's pretty much the same story. Oh, Negan was good, but the way that they set it up, so much suspense, and then this could have been The Walking Dead's Red Wedding. Yeah. The Game of Thrones. Whatever.
Game of Thrones. No, Game of Thrones. No, but
the Game of Thrones thing.
It could have been great. It could have been fantastic.
It could have been so good.
I was feeling it, man. I was just like, oh my god, someone's gonna die. Someone's gonna die.
Everyone got into it, and then once you see them just like cut that off, it's like, what do you mean?
It was so bad, and it doesn't matter in what season. What's the next season? Season 7.
Season 7.
Yeah, it does, because they keep saying, "Oh, we're gonna show you who dies in the beginning of the episode." It's like, it doesn't matter because at this point, it's like, "Oh, he died." Rip. It's like all that suspension was gone. It's like it's just, "Oh, he's dead now." Like,
yeah, because we're gonna keep that suspension on us for like the next couple months.
It's so bad. I don't know why they did that. Just to
I don't
bait people.
I don't think there's like one person that was like, yeah, that finale was pretty good, but obviously everyone hated the cliffhanger. Everyone loved Negan. I just hope that they can deliver when October comes. Like they have to bring out probably the best premiere for a season yet, but if they want to.
It's so sad because this was such a good season too. It's like they ruined it.
They ruined it towards the end, and I don't know. Like people are saying, yeah, I'm not gonna watch it anymore, but they're gonna watch it. Exactly. They want to see what happens.
They could at least. I know they can't show someone's head getting bashed in because it's not HBO, and they could just show people dying like brutally. But they could have just showed him picking the person, and then it cuts to the first person. Like, come on, man.
But yeah, you know, AMC definitely did that from a business standpoint, or whoever did that needs to get fired or something.
Yeah,
because
it wasn't good. I mean, it was
that
good,
was
but this.
that was a good finale, and then it just like whatever. But yeah, just hope that when October comes around, they redeem themselves, and yeah, just like
Yeah, it was
so annoying.
It made me really mad.
I mean, it made so many people mad, and you're definitely not one. You're definitely not alone, I would say. So, I think that's it for this episode of the two
hold
players.
on a second. I got some games to talk about.
Oh yeah, we skipped over the whole part of games we've been playing. All right. Oh yeah, you played Overwatch.
I played Overwatch. I got during
you
Friday
got into
Saturday,
the stress beta, right?
Yeah, I got into the stress test. I saw it on the morning of Friday when I was getting ready for school. Saw my email. I saw like, oh, you could play Overwatch. I'm like, what? So I went to school, just super excited. Came back home, downloaded it, and played it for like 2 days straight. It was fantastic. I love it. It's like TF2, except instead of 9 classes, there's like 21 classes or heroes, and it just feels fantastic. It's so it's more like a classic FPS where you don't regen health or anything. You pick up health packs in the maps.
Yeah, so knowing it is like map, TF2.
Yeah, it's basically TF2, except it takes the mobile aspect of having a lot of heroes and puts it in there. But besides that, everything else is like a TF2 where you have payload where you escort something, and then the other team defends, King of the Hill, and everything else. But the game, the core gameplay is just so good. Everything feels very smooth. All the characters feel like important. Even the supports. I'm surprised how much fun I had playing support, because you could do a lot of damage, and also like your ults just change the game. For like Lucio, his ult, he brings like everyone has like a giant barrier of health. So you're like super tanky and could push on a point.
It sounds like fucking Soraka, but like more annoying.
Yeah, so you could do that. Mercy, she can resurrect like 3 people that are down. It's like crazy. And,
oh my god.
Yeah, so and Zenyatta could turn invulnerable, and then everyone else around him has like 100% HP regen. Is like insane. And the
game's $40 for PC, right?
Yeah, $40 because it doesn't have a single player. It's only multiplayer.
$40 for PC, and then I believe it's $60 for consoles.
Yeah, I think so. The matches don't last that long either. It's like I think the most I seen was like 15 minutes what I played. So it's like perfect time. Like it doesn't drag on too long, and it's just super satisfying, and I love it. Can't wait for the game to come out. And
I'll probably still buy it, despite like Blizzard doing all these weird things with like shutting down old servers. And all this other
Blizzard.
Crap.
Yeah, Blizzard's.
Jank.
Jank.
Like the whole JonTron rant video kind of had me like consider if I wanted to get Overwatch still.
Yeah.
Because I don't know.
Blizzard could be. It's not smart. Because mostly with like
StarCrafts
and
I think
stuff.
Some of their developers or like team behind them is like, we know what you want, so we're gonna give you what we think you want.
I don't know what they're doing with WoW at that point. Like I think they want WoW to die. Apparently, I don't know why they're like sacking
or
it so
something.
hard.
I don't even know. But
And another game I was playing was Enter the Gungeon, which was last week, and that game was basically Binding of Isaac and Nuclear Throne had a baby and have this game. Because the gameplay is a lot like Nuclear Throne, with its like bullet helly top-down shooter, but it has the wacky weapons and stuff from like Isaac and stuff. So it's just a really fun combination. I think I do like it a little more than Nuclear Throne, and maybe a little more than Isaac. I do think it's like one of the best roguelites I have played, since it's not slow pace as Isaac is a lot more fast paced and it requires a lot more timing, dexterity than Nuclear Throne, because you have things like dodge rolling, which makes you invulnerable for a few frames. And things called blanks, which could clear out any bullets in the room. So it's very important to have your timing down for that. So yeah, Enter the Gungeon, solid game as well.
I should probably get that. Probably when like a Steam sale, right?
$15, yeah. And if you wait for a Steam sale, probably won't be that much this year, but maybe
probably
next
less
year.
than 10.
Yeah, probably less than
maybe
10.
But what games have I been playing recently? I played League, obviously, getting back into it.
Game.
I went on I think it was like a 6-game losing streak, man.
Oh, Jesus. Oh, my God.
It was like a 6-game, but like I didn't get demoted from Diamond, so I was like blessed by the right gods for like a good 6 games.
See, it's telling you, you gotta get pro, man.
But now I am D4, so thanks
Oh.
to a friend. Yeah, and yeah, it's working out a lot better. You know, I'm literally just spamming Braum because like Thresh is like not that good anymore.
What, really?
Compared, yeah, because I mean I said like earlier that like Thresh is like probably one of like the most versatile supports. You know, he's like he pretty much has everything, but he has everything but not good at one thing. You know, I would say he's really good at catching, but he's not good at peeling. He is good at saving with the lantern, but like, you know, like in team fights, that's what this meta is all about, is team fights. And like Thresh in team fights, it has to be an overextended team fight and stuff like that. Like there's like a lot when it goes into it. But with Braum, all you have to do is put the shield up, press ulti, get your passive on everyone, and then just have everyone get stunned, and then it's pretty much over.
Okay, yeah, because Thresh could like flay and do the box, and that's about it.
Yeah,
right?
flay, box, hook, lantern, and then that's it.
Yeah.
And then his passive is for himself. So, yeah, I've just been spamming Braum a lot and some Alistar, but all right. So Fire Emblem Birthright.
Did you finish
Going
it?
back to this game. No, because I've lost way too many people.
Oh, really?
So it's up to the point where I either need to change the difficulty level or I need to start over. So I'm starting over. I'm skipping like all of the cutscenes. So like my playtime's like less than 2 hours. But I'm enjoying myself. You know, I am being a lot more strategic, I would say, because like when someone dies, I'm like, could that person be really strong later? And I'm like, yeah, they probably can. So I like restart the game and then try it again. And like it's literally just me making like dumb plays and like stupid pretty much mistakes every single time. So I plan to finish the game before school ends, maybe.
All right.
But
yeah, I should do that too. The game is a lot harder though, because pairing up got nerfed. But
yeah, so like I pair them up if they're like really low HP.
Yeah.
You know, and then like I have like no healer or something like that. So I don't pair people up because then that makes one person really strong and then like the other person really weak. And on top of that, just like pairing up just like is so bad because you can't do double yeah. So like that's like the major thing that like why people paired people up was because you could do the double attack still. But now they nerfed it and like it's so dumb. But when I get to Conquest, I don't want to think of it because I hear it's so much harder.
I probably just play
like
casual and just get through it.
But I'll see. But you know, Birthright, it's still a fun game, and like me and Total Biscuit have like the same ideology when it comes to Fire Emblem. We don't care about the story, like at all.
Yeah, the story. I mean, the story is pretty generic in
yeah.
Birthright.
I mean, like it is a little bit more interesting than Awakening.
Yeah, I would say it's more interesting than Awakening, but the gameplay
But it's
is
not.
messy.
Yeah, like when you play Fire Emblem, you normally play for the gameplay. You know, if you play for the story, go all for it. But I'm a person that really does play for the gameplay because the gameplay is top notch. Like it's too damn good to not play it just for the gameplay. You know.
Yeah.
And then like visually, it looks pretty good, and then story wise, it's meh. You know. So like me skipping all of the cutscenes is not exactly a huge deal because I already watched all of them, so it's not really that much of a big deal, and I kind of know what's going on. You know, one family had a son, and then the other took him, and then he finds out that's you know, it's just like it's pretty much once you look at it, it's pretty much a simple plot, and then once you choose a side, they go more in depth into it and stuff like that. So
yeah.
What else have I been playing other than those? I think that's about it.
I got nothing else.
You know, Miitomo as usual. I haven't played it in a while, so yeah.
Still haven't downloaded it.
I mean, like, it's a fun little thing to do. You know, once Nintendo does come out with like physical awards for like my Nintendo, they'll probably do something with it, but we'll see. I don't know. It's just like a fun little thing to do like every day, like in the morning because I've computer programming and I usually finish all my stuff. So I'm literally just sitting there on Twitter playing Miitomo or listening to music. So yeah, but yeah, I haven't played anything else other than League of Legends, Fire Emblem, Ratchet and Clank, and yeah. Oh wait, Duck Game. We played Duck Game.
Alright, so
oh my god, Duck Game. Oh my god.
It's insane.
It's pretty much a troll game that you literally can't predict what's going to happen unless you have one friend that's like miles above everyone else, which I think at this point we're catching up to Kofi.
Yeah.
So, you know, at a point, Kofi was pretty much like dominating everyone, but at this point, Louis catching up. I'm kind of catching up. You know, I'm still like trolling like half the time. You
as
know?
long as you get one frag, it's fine.
You know, but yeah, if you have 3 other friends, 3 other people in your household, definitely get Duck Game. It's such a fun game. Like they have on the controller, there's a dedicated button to quack.
I know,
like,
that's like 10 out of
10
10.
out of 10. Yeah, 10 out of 10 material right there. Like, come on. So if you haven't played Duck Game or bought it yet, it's on Steam. I think it's like $10, $15.
Yeah, I think it should be cheap on sale now. You could probably buy like a 4-pack on like in the summer sale. It'll probably be like $5 for like 4 games. So that's totally worth it. So you should buy it.
Yeah, and like they definitely knew what they were doing because games like that are local only, that would hurt the game so much.
Yeah, but it has online. So that's fantastic.
Good thing it has online. I don't know why so many indie game developers are like, you know, that's not the way we want it to be. No. Put online, it'll be a lot better. Yeah. Like, just put your pride to the side and then just make it online, and then you'll get the money. You know, you pretty much get more money. I mean, you know, it is a greedy strat, but I think it's better for everyone. Yeah. You know, so I don't know, but yeah, that game does have online multiplayer, so be sure to check it out. And yeah, I think that's about it for this episode.
Yeah.
All right. So thank you guys for listening to this episode of the Two Players Podcast. We will be back in 2 weeks with more news, more games, and other things to talk about. So we'll see you then.
Later.